Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm trying out this angle. How's that? I feel like this is so much better. Anyways, congratulations on finding the coolest channel on YouTube right now. I go by the name of Avzak on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, all my social media platforms. If you are a returning subscriber, regular, a day one. Thank you, my baby, for tuning in once more. I love and appreciate you very, very much. And if you are new here, welcome. It shows that you know and see good things. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell to get notified every time I make a post because you deserve good things. Period. So, as you would have seen by the title of the video, this is a life update. For those of you that don't know me, like if you are new to this channel, my name is Avuzwa Kumalo. I am 26 years old. I'm turning 27 in October. I feel like I'm getting so old. I am from South Africa and I'm currently living in Shanghai, China. I know so many of you who are regulars on this channel are probably wondering, why did you come to China? I mean, why didn't you stay in America? No, work or study there, whichever one. So I'm just gonna tell you the story of my life. I mean, this is a life update after all. Basically, what happened is before I even started traveling, because I'm sure some of you who are new here are just like, girl, we see you all over the place. You were in America, now you're in Shanghai. What's the deal? Okay, let me start from the beginning. So, firstly, I've not always been a traveler. I mean, I've always wanted to travel, but I've not always been able to. I've always just been like study. I would hang out with my friends at school, then come back home, stuff like that. I mean, I've traveled to other provinces in my country, but it's not many. It's not as much as I would have liked to travel, you know? I am a psychology major, for those of you who don't know. So I studied psychology, undergrad and postgrad. I did my honors in 2020 and I finished in 2021, and my graduation was in 2022. So basically, when I was in undergrad, I literally did nothing but just go to school and hang out with my friends. And I've always wanted to travel and do so much more. I always felt like, oh my word, I could be doing so much more. I'm wasting my life, whatnot. And during my honors, our lecturers were like, you guys need to start volunteering because it's good for you, like credential wise, especially since you are a psychology, major. They want to know what you've been doing, what you've done, and so on. So I started finding places to volunteer. I volunteered with Rise Against Hunger South Africa, Childhood Cancer Foundation, at a shelter in my city, PMB. That's like my second home basically. I'm from Umzimkulu originally, but PMP is also my second home. And I would volunteer there. And then I got a job at my campus. I went to Varsity College for my studies, both my undergrad and postgrad. I got a job at campus. I got that job and I only had a 4-month contract. And after that, the job was done. And I thank God for that because low key, I wanted that job to be extended, the contract to be extended, but they didn't. And if they had, I wouldn't have gone to America. And probably I wouldn't be here right now. So you see, everything works out for you, like for your own good. And I got my license while I was still doing my job. I got my license in May 2022. After my job ended, my mom was like, what now? And I was like, you remember I told you I've always wanted to go overseas? I told my mom about Aupair when I was in matric, but she didn't approve then because she was like, you're too young to go to another country. You just finished matric. You need to go to varsity. You can't just go and be a nanny or whatever. You need to have something tangible first, like a degree or something. So I told my mom, like, remember what we talked about years later? She was like, sure, why not? I mean, it's not like you're doing anything here and you've gotten like 2 degrees already. So I don't see like any problem with it. So That's when I started my whole process of trying to go to America as an au pair, which by everything you've seen was successful. And I went to America in March 2023. And I've been there since March this year, 2025. After that whole au pair thing, I tried to study there. I got into a university for a master's in clinical mental health, but it wasn't psychology, so I dropped out. I was like, this is not what I want. And also, the fees were like ridiculous. And I was like, I'm not going to pay so much money for something I don't even want. So I left that and I looked into psychology masters, like proper psychology masters programs. And also I looked into jobs, but eventually I didn't find anything. So, but the more I looked and the more options I found, I discovered that, you know what, I actually don't want to stay in America for more than these 2 years I've already stayed. I want to go somewhere else because the goal was to travel around. Now I felt like I was going to be stuck in America. I knew that once I settled, it would be so hard for me to go anywhere else. I mean, I wanted to travel and stay at different places for a certain time before I actually decided to settle in one place. So that's when I decided that, you know what, let me look for other options. And then I started looking into options to study somewhere else. And I am working on that one. I can't say anything right now. You guys will just have to find out where I go. But essentially, I do want to study abroad, obviously, and I'm working on studying abroad for my master's in psychology, clinical master's to be specific. I did want to go for counseling before, but I'm just like, you know what? I think I like clinical masters more. It has more things than counseling, so I like that better. I also looked into like jobs and stuff. So I knew that when I go back to South Africa, I don't want to stay in South Africa for long. I want to continue my travels because the whole plan is for me to travel and then settle down in one place and study there and work there for a certain time. And if I like the place, maybe that's going to be my home for a long time, unless I change my mind and I study there and I'm like, I want to work somewhere else. Went back home to South Africa, stayed there for 3 months, and then came to China. This whole au pair in China thing, I actually set it up while I was in America because I knew if I went back home and tried to set it up while I was home, it was gonna take a long time for me to actually leave home. And I wanted to go home to like see them, but quickly go. I don't hate my family or my home. I want to be traveling in my 20s basically, and I want to be settled in a place in my 30s, like focusing on my psych studies and trying to, I don't know, build my life. I am building my life right now also, but like, I don't know if you understand what I mean, but yeah. I've always wanted to come to Asia. Initially, I would have liked to au pair like in France, Germany, Netherlands, but those were so harder to get into and you had to pay so much money to like start the process. And I found this agency here in China and they didn't cost me a thing to like actually start the process. So I was like, why not? I mean, I've always wanted to come to China, just to come to Asia in general. And I was going to come to China anyway for teaching. But I was like, you know what? Let me do this au pair thing so I can sample how being in China is. So I can see if I actually would like to live there, whether it's teaching job or whatever. And au pairing is not like a teaching job where you like have a 1 year contract and if you terminate it, there's a lot of consequences. With au pairing, you get to choose how many months. There's 3, 6, a whole 12 months. And if you want to terminate your contract and you're like, "Oh, I don't like this family, I want to change," it's much more simpler than being stuck in a teaching contract with the whole school. So I was like, let me do this thing. So I found this awesome family. We started talking. I went back home and then got my visa and came to China. You might be wondering, Why China? Like I said before, I've always wanted to come to Asia, and I think China is beautiful. And also, I've been thinking of coming to China to teach English, so I wanted to know how it is before I actually came here to stay for like a longer period of time. I wanted to sample it with a contract that allowed me to be flexible. Also, with au pairing, it's not the same as having like a 9 to 5 job. With au pairing, you are quite flexible. You know, you are able to travel with your host family. You are able to have off days, sometimes on just random days. You know, you are able to have vacation time. It's not as rigid as being like a teacher, you know. So I wanted to like experience that, like living in China, being able to just explore more than actually work. So au pairing was the best thing for that. I always say au pairing is the best way to travel the world. It doesn't pay a lot, but if you know how to use your money wisely, and traveling, guys, you don't have to have a lot of money. There are so many places you can see in a low budget, as long as you have someone who's going to provide you with the accommodation to stay in that place, which is what au pairing is basically about. You have the accommodation, you have the food, you basically have the connections because you have a whole family that brought you there, so you're not completely by yourself. You have an agency. I always recommend that you come using an agency, not by yourself. So you have someone that's backing you up. That's why I decided to come to China, and that's why I left America. I'm so glad I did, because with all the stuff that's happening in America right now, I'm just like, yo, it's hard being a foreigner in that country right now. China has been so wonderful. The people are so nice. You know, they're so welcoming. I've not experienced any racism. People are generally just intrigued with black people in this country, and I love that for me. I have no idea what else to say. That's basically my life. I don't have a lot. I'm just adjusting here. Oh, and I'm learning Chinese. So, ni hao. That means hi. I'm sure everybody knows ni hao. That's like the most common thing ever. Let me see what I can say that's a little. Oh, wo I ni. That means I love you. And I do love you guys because you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like my regular regulars, thank you so much, guys, for always watching, commenting, liking my videos and stuff. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting this channel, and I'm going to try my best to give you the best content. And Shanghai is definitely a place to get good content, and I'm going to try and also involve my other au pair friends so we do content together. Tell me in the comment section what else you want to know. And also, guys, do you think I should do an updated get to know me tag? I feel like I should. But yeah, just tell me in the comment section. And also, you can DM me your questions or write them in the comment section. Like, what questions do you want me to answer in my updated get to know me tag? Because I do have a get to know me tag, but that was when I started this channel, which was, I think, back in 2023. So a lot has changed, but not much, but it's not the same as before, you know. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like I didn't say a lot, but I don't know. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. 再见. That means take care in Chinese.